Now, plans to make sweeping changes at the BBC have been approved by the corporation's trustees. The details will be revealed tomorrow, but there is expected to be a 10% cut in programmes and more than 2,000 job losses. Nick Hyam reports.
Now, I want you all to pay me your very best attention.
Judi Dench filming Cranford, the BBC's latest period drama. In future, the BBC Trust says we can expect 10% fewer new programmes and more repeats, but the new stuff must be better. The Trust's chairman says the BBC has to get by with £2 billion less from the licence fee than it had hoped for.
The only way the budget has been squared is by making less television programmes so that we can concentrate on quality. And that's basically, the Trust has been demanding that above all else.
There'll also be efficiency savings and job cuts, notably in the BBC's newsrooms, though news is an area the Trust earmarked as a priority.
What the Trust has been underlining is this mustn't damage those critical, either the authority or the quality of those critical news and current affairs programmes that we all rely on.
This morning's meeting of the Trust was lobbied by unions representing BBC staff. They're not convinced the cuts can be made without damaging quality.
If you don't have enough staff, people cut corners, and when they cut corners, trust can be compromised, quality can be compromised, and if the BBC wants to retain the licence fee and retain its position, it can't afford to lose public trust.
The Trust, which represents the interests of licence payers, says difficult choices have had to be made. But it says it's confident the plans it's approved today will safeguard the BBC's core values. We'll get the details of those plans tomorrow. Nick Hyam, BBC News and Television Centre.
Well, let's go live now to Broadcasting House in central London. Our correspondent Caroline Hawley is there. Caroline, are you gleaning anything from what was said in that meeting?
Well, what you know is that Sir Michael Lyons came out and insisted that quality wouldn't be compromised, but certainly I think we have a fairly strong idea of what we're expecting to hear tomorrow, and that is that there will be 1,800 redundancies, nearly 500 of them in news. Now, what management are saying and the BBC Trust is that these decisions have been taken in the interests of the BBC, that quality won't be compromised, but the unions say that quality will be compromised, and I think certainly that is very much the feeling in the departments that are likely to be most affected, where there is a mood of great apprehension and in some cases anger as well.
Internally, inevitably, a lot of focus on job losses. In terms of what it means for people watching the BBC, the licence fee payers, will it mean more repeats? Because there is going to be fewer programming, isn't there?
Fewer programmes, almost, or less programming, almost certainly more repeats. There will be, we think, less web pages. But what the BBC is talking about, what management is talking about, is a smaller, more focused BBC. They're focusing on efficiency savings, but they are insisting that quality will not be affected. But of course, this is a plan that will take some time to go into action. It is a 6-year plan. Sir Michael Lyons said it was a very complex plan, and it will take some time before we know what audience think of these very sweeping changes that have been very, very controversial within the BBC.
OK, Caroline, the details to be formally unveiled tomorrow. For the moment, thanks very much.